Boys, the FA Cup is back. The cup is back. I'm so excited. It's such a beautiful, magnificent tournament. Knockout football. Oh, I'm so excited. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome along in. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham. And that's right. It is FA Cup weekend. The cup is back, boys. You guys don't seem as excited about it as I am.
Yay! It's more football. I'm here for club football.
You guys are the worst. You guys are the absolute worst.
It's not easy. Wait. It's not easy to get up for a tournament you lose every year. So
it is.
That's everything for you, Sean.
I'm glad you brought that up, Sean. Because do you know who holds the record for most FA Cup victories in England? I'm just wondering if you know.
I would venture to guess it's a small club just to our south.
No. It's a very large club. Very large club. Actually, last time we won it. Fun fact about James. I watched it in a hospital room because my second son had been born that day. So, shout out Connor. You were born on an FA Cup victory for Arsenal. So, big ups to you.
Wow. Shout out to your wife for letting you put that on in the hospital room.
To be fair, I was watching it on my phone.
Okay. All right, fair.
Let's not get twisted. And it wasn't. He had already been born. It had been many hours later. So he was doing his thing. She was doing her thing, and I was just like, I'm chilling for a minute.
You were on the comfiest couch.
Oh
ever.
Gosh, hospital couches are the absolute worst.
The worst.
Absolute worst. Oh man. All right, let's get into it. So, FA Cup third round proper this weekend. Before we dig too deep, because I know I just said let's get into it, but let me pump the brakes and go backwards a little bit, throw in reverse. If you're new here, stumbled upon us, hit the subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell. If you're on if found us on one of the podcast sites, hit us with a follow or a subscribe, whatever's on your platform. Rate us 5 stars if your platform allows it, and then share it with a buddy. That would mean the world to us, and we'd be very, very, very pleased and thankful that you did that. Any of the things that the normal YouTube or internet personality people ask you to do, just do those things for us too. That'd be great. All right. So okay, we're gonna get to the FA Cup, but first, as we like to do here at Red Card Radio, we like to interact with you guys. We like some comments, and Jimmy's been real active in the comments this last week. So. We mentioned last week that the Cody Gakpo deal has been officially announced. Liverpool have signed Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven in the range of £37 million. So that's good business. PSV needed some money, so they kind of cut rate deal for him, it seems like. But Jimmy is excited for Gakpo. It seems like Liverpool is going to look to run a 3-5-2 next year.
3-2-5.
What did I say?
That wasn't a typo. 3-2-5, not 3-5-2. 3-2-5.
That is okay. Excuse me. My brain inverted the numbers. So 3-2-5. Klopp wants to run a 4-2-3-1 this year with Nunez up top and Gakpo at the
sorry, not Klopp. Jimmy wants to see Nunez at the top. Sorry.
Let me get you.
You can't read these.
If you're going to translate the comment, you have to translated it.
You can't give me undefined pronouns because
I think you got it.
Loyal listeners, friends of the podcast, need to apologize because Brad set me up for failure there. I asked Brad. You didn't
put in all the notes.
I asked
Brad. Yeah.
I didn't do everything.
That's your fault.
My mistake.
What were you thinking? I should apologize to everybody here, including me, for making me do work.
All right.
What's the next thing you talked about?
Jimmy also mentions that the Enzo Fernandez deal is not happening. It doesn't look like that's happening for anyone because Benfica want an astronomical amount of money. Bellingham, he thinks, is a maybe. Jimmy thinks is a maybe. It doesn't really seem like Bellingham's going to happen for Liverpool if they're not in the Champions League. There's no way it happens. Talk about the Wolves guy, who Jimmy can't remember his name at the time. Suarez and Jota were January signings, and Diaz was another one, Jimmy, that you forgot. I think Van Dijk was also a January signing for Liverpool. So, Sean and you and I mentioned this last week that Liverpool are kind of they sometimes are kings of the January window. They do a lot of good business in January. So
A lot of good business in January.
but that's where his praise for you ends, Sean.
Yeah.
Well, just a quick note.
Okay.
All these people talking bad about Benfica. Benfica puts in the contract, this is the buyout clause, and then when they don't back off of it, people are like, "What's wrong with Benfica?"
No.
Oh no.
They're just like, "Hey, listen, hey, if you want the buyout, that's what it is. If you don't, then we'll continue winning in the Champions League. Leave us alone."
Yeah.
I think that's pretty stern business.
Yeah. I'm not begrudging Benfica.
And they're straightforward about it too. They're like, "Here's the buyout."
So there are buyout clauses that are ridiculous. I don't think 120. I think 120 million for Enzo Fernandez is a little bit high for like a legitimate evaluation of his value, but there are some buyout clauses that are dumb, and they almost all relate to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Every single one of the stupid buyout clauses is from Barcelona when they sign somebody. And the reason why Barcelona have stupid buyout clauses of 1 billion euros for Gavi or Pedri or Ansu Fati is because PSG rocked up with a check for 222 million euros and bought Neymar.
Yeah.
And so now Barcelona's like, well, someone paid a stupid amount of money for Neymar.
Yep.
Maybe somebody will pay a stupid amount of money for Pedri.
I got no problem with it because if you're like, you know what, I'm fine having the player. So if you want the player that bad, you can either pay the damn money or you can keep it moving because I'm good at having them.
It's funny Sean's talking like this because there's like 3 people, teams, places you don't negotiate with. One of them is Benfica, the other is Napoli, and the third is Daniel Levy.
Yeah,
so of course you're like, just pay the release clause.
This, and this, because that's it. Anyways, all right, let's get some slander.
All right, it's not slander. I don't think it's slander. You had
slander.
Yeah, you had slander last week. You were talking about how Jimmy drinks bad whiskey or something like that, and Sean, you're dead to Jimmy now.
Okay, I see that.
He's switching his neutral support back to Arsenal. Also switching, and he wants Giroud's career over Kane's career now.
Okay, all right.
Kane is now the new Timo Werner, completely overrated. Højbjerg, more like Snoresberg, completely uninspired, tasteless football. He's like the natural light of football. Oh man, if you I should figure out a way to clip that comment that you made last week.
Look, all he's doing is just describing the best players on the team because you notice he doesn't go after our actual bad players. He goes after our best players, Harry Kane and Højbjerg. And he's convincing himself that they're bad, which means he already thinks that they're good because he's already said that he's flipped on another stuff. So he's just, these players that I think are good are now they're bad. He didn't go after Royal, who's actually trash. There's plenty of players on Tottenham he could have actually went after. He went after the players in his mind that are actually really good. He's like, you know what? Now they're bad.
Oh.
So thanks, Jimmy, for the compliment that Harry Kane is a really good player and Højbjerg is the other really good player on Tottenham.
Well, Jimmy, I'll also say welcome to the Arsenal bandwagon. Appreciate it. Choo-choo. Everybody's allowed on board except for Brad.
I don't want on that train.
I mean, to be fair, hold on. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you rather see Manchester City win for the 3rd year in a row or Arsenal or Newcastle win the league?
Neither.
Is there a none option?
I don't think so. One of those 3. I guess Manchester United is the other option because they're the closest.
No. One of the other 2. Not United. One of the other 2.
I have to choose
Probably Newcastle.
I don't want to see Arsenal win the league.
Interesting.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to see my son come up and win the Premier League. Watch Newcastle grow into this championship.
you talk about your son Joel.
No, the oil money that would buy another title
Got it.
from the Chelsea family tree.
All right, we're done.
All right.
We're moving. It's FA Cup weekend. So there's a lot of games in the third round proper. I don't know specifically how many there are, but there's a lot. 20.
There's 32.
Okay,
32.
Brett. Okay,
32.
that's a lot. It's a lot of matches. So I'm now going to read you not all 32 of those matches.
Oh, good.
It looks like we've pulled in most of the Premier League games. So just on Friday, it gets kicked off. Manchester United hosting Everton at Old Trafford. Sunday. I don't know if it's probably actually Saturday. Spurs host Portsmouth. Gillingham host Leicester. City Palace are hosting Southampton in a Premier League clash. We got Sheffield Wednesday and Newcastle. What?
That was the second one.
Oh,
we
okay.
got more Premier League crashes.
United Everton. Okay, so let me get back to it. Sheffield Wednesday hosting Newcastle. We got Liverpool hosting Wolves in number 3 of the Premier League clashes. We've got Manchester City hosting Chelsea. So they are going to be playing 4 or 5 days apart from me. Absurd. Twice.
Thursday then Sunday.
How's it gonna? It's gonna feel real bad when City beat you guys twice in 3 days. Brentford are hosting West Ham, and then rounding out the weekend, we've got Oxford United hosting Arsenal. So those are those are
I didn't realize that
games.
I'm a little bit uncultured when it comes to the FA Cup, clearly because I'm usually out by this time of year. There are 30.
You're never out at this time of year because this is when the Premier League teams come into the competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's usually around this time that I'm out.
Well, this was the time that James was out last year.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Why are a quarter of the Champions League or a quarter of the Premier League teams going to be out after the first weekend that they can play?
It's the cup, baby.
What is that how it always is? Why are there 32 games and 5 of them include Premier League teams playing Premier League teams?
So I will.
Is there no more random draw than that?
No. I mean, it's like 64 teams and 20 of them are Premier League teams.
Yeah, but there's probably some restrictions in that. Yeah, 30% of the teams are Premier League teams, but there's also probably some restrictions because I think Chelsea and Manchester City play Thursday. There's no way they're playing Friday.
I mean, yeah, but that's all like broadcasting schedule and stuff like that. So like there's not.
Oh, what he was saying.
No, if you're playing on Thursday in the Premier League, you're not playing Friday or Saturday.
Yeah,
in a cup.
Is that the reason?
That's why it's Sunday.
You're probably playing Sunday or Monday against them.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying that they're probably into the draws. These are the teams they can play on Sunday.
What I'm saying is, I don't think there's day draws. Only these teams can play on Sunday because it would all be Premier League teams.
Yeah. They draw all of the teams. They draw the teams who's playing against who, and then they pick the broadcast schedule based off it. So it's not like it's not like United and Everton. It's not like they were like, all right, we're drawing the teams to play on Friday, January the whatever it's going to be. Like it's United and Everton. No, they when they picked names out of the hat, they said, oh, United and Everton, they're playing against each other. Spurs, Portsmouth, they're playing against each other. Oxford United, Arsenal, they're playing against each other. And then once they got all that figured out, then they threw it into the supercomputer, and the supercomputer spat out. Or it was probably like Sky was like, okay, we want to broadcast this game. BT was like, we want to broadcast this game, and then
it just generally seems odd. It generally seems odd that there's 20 teams in and 10 of them play each other.
I think
out of a random draw of 64 teams.
Joel, is this the most Premier League matches happening in the third round of the FA Cup? Because it feels like it might be half of the clubs.
It's certainly it's randomized, so like it could happen. It could be 10 of the matches, but this year seeing 5 Premier League matches in the third round seems high. It does seem high. It also seems really early to have a City Chelsea match. It's exceptionally early.
Did this happen last year where we played City in the league, then City in a cup? I think it was the FA Cup again.
Probably.
Well,
with Liverpool.
I know we played what we played. It was Chelsea League, Chelsea FA, Chelsea League, or something like that last year.
Something stupid.
We played Chelsea 3 times in a row in like February last year.
Yeah, we won all 3. I remember.
There was
I remember too.
There was a time a couple years ago where Arsenal played Liverpool like 4 times in the span of like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, because we had Liverpool in the Champions League, and we played them in the League Cup, and then or like the FA Cup, and then the league. It was so much Liverpool back to back to back. It was insane. So sometimes that's just how it happens. Sean, how do you feel about Spurs doing some dirty stuff here in this match?
I'm just feeling a little slightly salty. I'd like to see old Dane Scarlett get out there and see what he can do against his lone E team.
Yeah, like that.
So screw the what do they call it? Tighten the bolts. Put the screws to them. What's the expression?
Yeah, you can put the screws to somebody.
Okay. Yeah. Go out there. Put the screws to them. Let them know what you're missing by loaning me out.
So are they gonna? Is Tottenham going to give him permission to play?
No, he's not allowed to play.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So but Tottenham can give him permission to play. Yes. Because I know
Chelsea have to ask, right? Portsmouth have to ask, is it okay?
Yeah.
And then
I don't know.
Either say yes or no.
Yeah, I think that's generally how it happens.
So I know Chelsea said yes to Derby County when Mason and Tomori were there. When Frank was the manager.
From what I've read so far, unless something's changed, Tottenham said no.
Well, okay, so you look at this a couple ways. So do Spurs want to get knocked out by their loanee? Like a player?
That'd be awesome.
No, that's a bad look. But
that's a Spursy thing to do.
He's not their best player. Which is bad for us.
Can Portsmouth rely on a player who's been loaned to them? It's like say you loan out. I don't know if he's like a huge Tottenham guy through and through, but like say he doesn't want to see Tottenham lose, like he wants Tottenham to win the FA Cup or something like that. There is a situation where he doesn't try as hard against his parent club.
You bring in a moral situation.
Yeah,
that's tough on the player himself too.
Exactly.
Because Scarlett has come through our entire academy. He's not a Kane situation where we just freshly bought him.
Yeah,
that I know of. He has been an academy player for a while.
Yeah. Okay. So like in a situation like that, it could be weird on both sides. And maybe he's a complete professional about it and he plays hard and he does his best. But there's always that some troll on the internet might start clacking away saying like, oh, obviously this is collusion, so like it's better to just not do it.
Eliminates the possibility because you're right. It is tough on Scarlett too. Like, hey, I train with these people every summer. These are my friends.
Yeah, it's better to just like see them after the game and like give them what's up after that, and like shake hands and be like, yo, what's up? Though if he's not allowed to play, he might not travel.
No, he's probably they should let him. They should let him travel with the team, but not. I mean, he wouldn't be on the bench, but they people
in the travel.
Yeah,
there's plenty of seats at the Tottenham Stadium, so like it's not like they're gonna be hurting for a seat for him.
Or sell that out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it's a huge stadium. I wasn't saying that there's gonna be empty seats because you guys didn't sell it. That was not my intent. My intent was just to say it's a huge stadium. There's plenty of seats they can find in a seat.
I think he just said we had the empty hat in London.
You guys have the toilet bowl of London. Brad,
Fuller than West Ham.
Brad. Obviously this podcast is releasing on Friday morning, so the Chelsea City
match will be done.
League match will have already been played. We don't know that because that's in the future for us at this moment in time. But as you're listening to this, it will be in the past. So weird time conundrum stuff going on here, guys. Obviously, we don't want to mess with the space time continuum or anything like that. But how confident are you going into the FA Cup now? I'll also ask this: do you think that you're going to see a very, very different Chelsea team in the FA Cup than you did in the league?
Yes. Let's play the kids and see what happens.
Oh wow, you just don't give a shit.
No.
Interesting.
No. Like, look, it's a third round FA Cup match. What would we normally do in the FA Cup third round? We would have some starters on the bench that if shit went haywire, we'd call them on and be like, hey, go get a couple goals so we can win. Right? Playing City, you're probably not going to put them out there. Like, Thiago Silva's clearly not playing in this game.
That's because
promise you.
It's because he's played 3 days earlier, and if you try and play that quickly back to back, he's going to fall.
Koulibaly's probably not playing in this game.
I don't know. I feel like you have to. I think you have to take the FA Cup more seriously than the league. You're describing it like it's a League Cup game. Like you're like
it's a third round of the FA Cup. I'm not. Once you get to like the quarters or the semis, like when there's 16 teams, not 64 teams, then yeah, sure. Oh, cool. We got a chance to win. We're progressing into the cup. Like normally, this would be we expect to move forward, so play the kids, and we'll play a couple of stars, and to win the game, and that's it.
Yeah,
I was planning to say like just play the kids and see what happens.
Yeah, Spurs MO are the kids with Kane's son and like a Lloris on the bench, and they're just in case. Like that's their MO is they'll play a complete second 11, just have Kane and son in the back pocket if we need it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you want to give squad players some time in this competition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that
Ziyech is probably going to play on the right. His magic foot might get a goal in the FA Cup, or it happened on Thursday, and I'm like, yeah, see, I told you Ziyech was going to score. One of those games, he's going to score a goal, and it's going to be like a wonder shot, like against Tottenham on that magic left foot from the right side.
I kind of feel like you need to take the FA Cup more seriously, play more of your starters.
Why?
But because it's a competition that deserves reverence.
Hold on. Okay, I'm with you. I just want to look up something really quickly.
You look up who Arsenal played against.
I want to look up your lineup against Nottingham Forest last year.
I know Gabby Martinelli played. I'm pretty sure Smith Rowe played.
Leno, Holding, Tavares, Cedric, Patino, Lokanga.
Okay. Keep going.
And Nketiah was your only striker. Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, and Nketiah. So you did the Harry Kane and Son method.
I don't know.
You played 4 regular starters. Ben White.
That's right.
Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka. And Nketiah is not your first choice striker.
True.
Patino is maybe on the bench sometimes. Lokanga is maybe on the bench sometimes. Tavares isn't even on the team anymore. Holding isn't on the team anymore.
Whoa.
And Cedric is trying to get off the team.
Rob Holding's on the team. What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. Rob Holding's still on the team. And Cedric's trying to get off the team.
Actually, Cedric doesn't want off the team because we pay him too much money.
He wanted to go on loan to go play somewhere.
Yeah, he wants to go play it. He wants to go play, but he doesn't want to lose any money. And Arsenal's kind of like, we don't want to pay you to go play for Fulham. I don't know. I think I think the FA Cup last year, in context to this year, I think we're going to see a lot different teams this year than we would.
You're playing normally. A League One team.
I mean, we played a championship team last year. I don't know.
I don't think you're playing. Whatever. You say what you're going to say.
Our lineup's going to be right back is probably going to be Cedric. Center backs is going to be Holding, probably Gabriel. And then left back is going to be Tierney. Midfield is going to be El Neni, and then Lokanga. And then probably I'm going to go with Emil Smith Rowe because apparently he's back from injury. Up top, it's going to be Marquinhos on the right. Oh no, it's going to be Vieira in the middle. Emil Smith Rowe is going to be on the left, and then I don't know who we're going to play down the middle. We might play Martinelli down the middle, and that'll be interesting. Who plays center forward for us? But
you're not going to risk Nketiah?
I mean, there's no point. Like he can't play every game, right? I don't know. Maybe there's a kid in the academy who can play.
Put Saka up there. Who cares?
False 9 Odegaard. Let's go.
Reece Nelson.
Yeah, Reece Nelson. So maybe what you do is you play
Wait, and who's in net?
Oh, Matt Turner. 100%.
Oh, okay, cool. So they're not taking it seriously either. So, like, you just said a
hold
lineup
on,
that's not taking it seriously.
That's
Matt Turner. What?
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
No. If we go over his
That is
whole
the
lineup,
United States goalkeeper, and you better say the Pledge of Allegiance right now.
Hold on. If he's
Read
he
the con-
can.
read-
I can't anymore.
Read the Constitution.
I don't know if I
Go.
could either. Read the Constitution. What's the first
listen.
10 Bill of Rights?
To
Listen.
be fair, the Pledge of Allegiance is really stupid.
With what you said, with what he just said, he picked all of the second tier players at Arsenal.
I picked
except for Tierney.
I picked all the players who've been playing in the Europa League for us.
All of the backups. Yes. So, is Arsenal now taking this cup more seriously than Chelsea?
I think we're taking it equally as seriously. But when you say
isn't that much?
When you say things like play the kids is like roll the U18s out there and see what happens. Play the kids is what Liverpool did in the League Cup against Aston Villa 2 years ago because they were playing in the Club World Cup. Their first team was playing in the Club World Cup on the same day or like the day before or something like that. So they actually legitimately played the academy. Like roll the kids out there seems to me to be more than play your backups.
Look, Hutchinson and Hall are 100% playing. Carney's probably playing. Ziyech's probably playing.
The only one of those three that I know is Omar Hutchinson because he used to be in the Arsenal academy.
Carney Chukwuemeka was on Aston Villa. Was killing on Aston Villa last year.
Oh, okay, that's the cat you guys signed. The young one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who hasn't featured? Zakaria is probably going to play for you, right?
I don't know. He started in the last game. I don't know. Maybe Gallagher probably gets minutes.
Is he related to Zachariah that Brad talked about earlier?
Yeah, it was the one that he mispronounced terribly earlier.
Yeah.
Zakaria.
Lewis Hall probably plays. Alfie Gilchrist probably plays.
Alfie.
Cassidy, the Italian dude that we bought this year, probably plays. Like
that Italian dude.
I was gonna make a
Cassidy?
I was gonna make a Amish joke that Brad has Zachariah play in midfield for Chelsea. It's like, what? Do you pick somebody up from Central PA? Like, what do you?
He's been churning butter all morning, and now he's gonna. Play. Apologies to our Amish listening community.
No, they probably find that funny.
Very extensive.
It's huge. That's where most of our listeners come from. Is Pennsylvania.
Tune in for the first podcast of February. We wrap up the January window where Chelsea picks up Ezekiel, cousin of Zachariah.
All right. Are we belaboring this any longer? Are we done?
Are you guys wait? Are you going to beat Oxford? And is Arsenal taking this seriously?
Yes. If we don't beat Oxford, I'm going to be exceptionally sad. I'm going to be exceptionally sad.
I remember you were very upset last year when you lost to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I want to angry James next week when you lose.
I don't know if I could be angry, but we'll see.
This is your cup. You just told us you chastised us for not caring.
You literally just yelled at me for about not caring about the FA Cup.
You said roll the kids out there, and that's like saying put the academy players out there. Go pick them up.
I just listed off a bunch of academy players that are probably going to play or start.
You know what we should do as a final troll before we get out of here? we should recall Dane Scarlett and just play him against him.
Oh, all right. I do have a trivia.
Send him back. Is this January?
I have a trivia question for you guys.
Ooh.
Okay. This is Premier League.
I do too.
Okay,
I do too. Are you pulling mine out?
I might be pulling yours out. If I'm pulling yours out, that's a trivia question for Brad. There's
no idea.
There's a team outside the top six. They've played all of the top six one time this season. So in 6 games, they've played the top six times. They have only lost once. They've lost once and 2 draws. So they're 3-2-1 against the top 6 teams. Which team am I referring to?
Yeah, I guess Sean, because I know.
Oh, you know it?
He must have.
Oh, then I'll guess.
Brad must have seen the Reddit post I stole this from.
Outside of the top 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be Chelsea.
No. Outside of the big
top 6 clubs.
Outside of the big 6.
Oh, the big 6 clubs. I was going to say, well, Chelsea are in 10th, so it's got to be them. Liverpool are outside the top 6 too. Newcastle.
Okay, Newcastle. Brad, who is it?
Brighton.
You're both wrong. It's Brentford. Brentford.
Brentford.
Brentford
Oh,
have
yeah.
only lost.
Yeah, I
they've only
fucked that
lost
up.
to Arsenal.
Yeah.
They beat United. They beat Liverpool. They
Yeah.
they drew Spurs. Who else they beat? Drew Spurs. Beat
They
Chelsea.
beat
Right?
City.
Do they?
No, they drew
They
Chelsea.
beat City. That's what it's. So
They beat City.
beat City. Beat
They drew
Liverpool.
Chelsea and Tottenham.
Yeah, drew Tottenham. Only lost to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Man, James's trivia
Wow.
hits harder than you know.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys didn't look this up, but my trivia is when I was looking to see how many goals between Harry Kane and Rooney, I just decided to take a little scroll down the list to see who the next closest active player was to Harry Kane.
I did not look, but I meant to think about this, and I didn't think about it. So now I'm upset that.
So
I didn't
the question is clearly with Alan Shearer and I'm going to stall a little bit for you guys. Clearly with Alan Shearer and Rooney and the only ones in front, and within 2 goals, Harry Kane will join them as the only 3 players in the Premier League history to have over 200 goals. He has 198. Rooney has 208, so he is 10 behind. Who is the next active player on the list? And I will grant you, it was down in the 20s. It was a good little scroll. It was about 50 goals off. 50 to 60. I think that if that helps you guys as a hint, it's around 130 and change.
I have a guess.
They've scored 130 in England in the Premier
League. Premier League goals.
Man.
And somebody's right behind them that's gonna trip you guys up.
I think the guy who's gonna trip us up is Mo Salah.
Yes, you picked the trip up.
I think Mo Salah is the
man, I shouldn't have said that. You picked the trip up. Yeah, you guys got the trip up.
So who is right
behind? I thought y'all would pick that one.
So I was thinking Mo Salah was an option. And then when you said the trip up, I was like, okay, that's Mo Salah.
I shouldn't have said that.
Because we're both going to guess Salah.
All right. I think I have a... do I have a guess? This is a bad guess. This is a bad guess, but I have a guess. I'm prepared to make a guess. Brad, are you prepared?
Brad, I want to make sure.
I'm not ready, but...
Well, I don't want to influence
I don't want.
No, because my guess was Salah. My guess was Salah until your hint. So, all right. I'm wrong. My guess was Salah.
130 goals in the Premier League. That's
it was like 134.
That's a lot. Who is this?
All right, I'll give you one more. To my knowledge, he has 1 golden boot.
To be fair, I didn't need that hint. Okay, let me go through my rationales. Who I was picking.
Okay.
I was picking Heung-min Son because it's a trivia question for you, and you're a Spurs supporter, so obviously you're looking for something that makes Spurs look good.
Look at his face.
I was going with Son. It's before you said the golden boot thing. And then when you said the golden boot thing, it confirmed in my mind that you're talking about Son.
Yeah.
Brad, who were you? Who were you
gonna guess?
Who are you gonna guess, Brad? Because I might still be wrong.
You know what came to my head when you say golden boot?
Who?
And I know it's wrong. I know it's 1,000% wrong. But Oba?
Oba doesn't have that many gols.
No, he wasn't in very long. All right.
I know.
So,
that's why I was.
No, I laughed because I didn't think about Heung-min Son. I didn't scroll down far enough to get to him.
Okay.
It was Jamie Vardy.
Fuck.
To my knowledge, he has 1 golden boot.
Dang it!
I hate his face.
I should have thought of that. I was trying to go through all right, which
Jamie Vardy is the next closest active player.
I'm not surprised I didn't think about that because I don't like him.
You hate his face.
I hate his face.
That was surprising to me. That it wasn't Mo Salah.
It's no longer surprising to me. It makes perfect sense to me.
Salah and Vardy have roughly been in the league the same time.
I think Vardy's been in the league longer.
Yeah, maybe roughly. Just a couple of years, but they've both been just banging away, just putting goals away. That's what they do.
Sean, I have a question for you. You got the sheets of integrity in front of you, right? Did we pick on the note cards of integrity who was going to win the FA Cup?
No, we have
Champions League.
Europa,
Yeah.
Europa and Champions League
Brad.
for everybody.
Brad, who's going to win the FA Cup?
City.
Sean, who's going to win the FA Cup?
Newcastle.
I'm picking Arsenal. Okay, put those things down. Add them to our note cards.
Okay.
We'll check back. We'll check back in.
Hopefully
in
I'm
May.
wrong, and we find out next week that I'm wrong.
All right, well, let's find out. So, loyal listeners, friends of the podcast, people who randomly stumbled upon this, whatever you would describe this last 30 minutes of your life as, your job now is to watch FA Cup matches this weekend and let us know. They'll be on ESPN if you're in America, correct? They're still on ESPN?
Yeah.
ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus.
So get to watching those. And we will love to see match reports in the comments. That's your job. Hit us up on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. Down below, furiously scribbling away, is at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, we are at Redcard_Radio. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure you tune back in next week. We've got a full slate of episodes.